Okay, we are recording. We're on.
All right. Well, first off, Chris, I just wanted to say thank you very much for having me today. I really appreciate you giving me the platform to
Yes,
be
sir.
able to tell everybody about the Miracle League of Martin County.
What is the Miracle League of Martin County?
So I'm going to give you my little spiel
Let's do it.
because I want to kind of explain what it is to me first, and then I'll incorporate what it is. So a little brief background about me and my family. I have I'm an attorney here in town in Stewart, but more than an attorney, I am a father of three beautiful children. My oldest son, John, he is nonverbal autistic, and usually we discovered it right around the age of 2, and of course, it's not been the easiest to have a special needs child. There's a lot of difficulties raising a special needs child. One of the things that we found difficult was especially difficult was finding something that Johnny was passionate about. Special needs children, individuals, they, especially autistic children, they tend to have a hard time focusing on certain things. So when you can get them to focus on something, it's incredible. And usually that's what they love to do. So with Johnny, we tried to find his niche, and we kind of got him into horseback riding at first. He loved doing that. And then we relocated because we were in Miami at the time. I was at law school. And we were in Miami, and he was kind of getting into horseback riding, and we had to relocate. And we came up here to, after I graduated, up here to Martin County. And so when we came up here, we again tried to look for things that Johnny was interested in. The horseback riding, he kind of started falling away from it a little bit. So we started noticing that he liked playing catch. And we would throw the ball and he'd catch it. And it was something new. And it was incredible to see, because he was around 5 at this time and he was having a hard time really focusing on anything. And so we got him to start playing catch. And then we started saying, hey, maybe we should get him to baseball. So we looked everywhere in Martin County, St. Lucie County. There's the Special Olympics, but that's a one-time thing.
Right. What do you do?
Exactly.
Day to day,
So,
week to week.
well, and as a parent, what is the best feeling when your child is in a league? The best feeling is being able to see him enjoy it, have community, be a part of something. And Special Olympics, sure, but that's like you said, it's once, and we need to have something that's regular for Johnny, that's consistent. So we decided to keep looking, and we actually found this organization in West Palm Beach, and it was called Miracle League of Palm Beach County. And I really have to give a shout out to Jeff and Julie Cadell, because they were the ones that started the Miracle League of Palm Beach County, and that was started in 2005.
Okay.
And so the Miracle League basically started in 1998 in Conyers, Georgia. And there was this little child, he was in a wheelchair, his name was Michael. And he was 7 years old, and he used to come and watch his 5-year-old brother, younger brother, play baseball. But he couldn't play because of his special needs and his disability. And so they, after a few games, they saw how much Michael loved watching baseball and how much he was enjoying being a part of the game. So they decided on the last few games to have him be a part of the team, have him come out on the base, the diamond, and run the bases. And so they did that, and it was very well taken. The whole community loved it. So the next season, they decided to focus primarily in 1999. They decided to focus on having a specific special needs team. And so what they did is they started the Miracle League. And what the Miracle League does is it provides any child, regardless of their ability, the opportunity to play baseball. And every
That's
child,
awesome.
exactly, every child deserves that opportunity. And so what they do is they have the child, and honestly, you have children that can't walk, you have children that are in wheelchairs that can't even hold the bats. But what happens is they come out on this baseball field, they have they're called buddies, and they're volunteers from the community. And they come, and it's usually one or two buddies, and they help the child grab the baseball, they help the child hit, and they help the child run the bases. And then every child gets to hit, every child gets to run the bases, and every child scores. And you end up tying at the end, so everybody wins. And so that was it was very well received in Conyers, Georgia, because and what people really need to understand is this is a little Conyers, Georgia's this little suburb right outside metropolitan Atlanta, and it's staggering, 75,000 special needs individuals at that time in that area. And so they were only able to help out 30 children, you know? So really think about that. I mean, these children don't have this opportunity at all. And there are so many unrepresented children that just don't get the opportunity to play any team sports. And so my son, we traveled to West Palm Beach because, again, nothing here in Martin County.
Right.
So we decided, all right, let's go to West Palm Beach. Incredible. I just got to say, it's insanely incredible. My son, he lit up. I mean,
that's what you could see in those pictures. It's just how happy all the kids are. That's so great.
They're so, and that's what it is, man. And you see these kids that come in that are in their shells for the first week or two. And then after a few weeks, they're a completely different kid. It's changed them. I mean, they're happy, excited to be there. And honestly, you get to watch these children when they run the bases and they start running towards home. And it, not only for these kids, but you get to see these parents that you don't get to feel the inclusiveness, and the children don't get to feel that. And the whole community is clapping, screaming their name,
right.
And they're running in, and they're just happy, man. And honestly, we loved it. We went to West Palm Beach for 3 years, and it was a great experience for us. I can't talk enough about Palm Beach. That made us think. My wife and I said, why is there nothing in Martin County? Why is there nothing in St. Lucie County? And Palm Beach County has had this since 2005. So, and this is one county over.
Right.
So it's not like we should have taken years ago, taken the lead. They've already put the lead out there. We should have taken that and run with it, but nobody did. And so
because there wasn't a Trevor Sherrard yet.
No.
It was time, man.
So my wife,
perfect timing.
My wife and I, it's not, honestly, nothing about me.
Except that,
No, I know.
I don't mean to give you the glory. I'm just saying, we saw a hole time.
and it needed to be filled.
Exactly.
And so that's what we're doing. And honestly, it has to be done. And
yes.
So we decided to do it. And it's been kind of a little bit of a struggle.
Of course.
We went through Miracle League. And just by the way, there's 350 Miracle Leagues all across the country at this point. In Mexico, Puerto Rico, South America, 350. And they have helped and served over 450,000 special needs children. So we need that here in Martin County. It just has to happen. So Kayla and I, first off, we registered Miracle League. It is a valid state and federal nonprofit.
Great. Good job.
We talked with Jeff Hughes over at the Martin County Parks and Recreation Department.
Perfect.
Jeff has given us a permit for Sailfish Park. And we are going to start April 4th is going to be our opening day. We have done, honestly, it's incredible how much, once we got the message out there, and we announced this about 2 weeks ago. And
Perfect.
And Kayla and I have been kind of trying to work a little bit in the background, and we've gotten the Martin County High School, the athletic department, South Fork High School, Ed Geiger. I'm actually meeting with him on Friday.
Ed's still there?
Yeah, he is the athletic coordinator.
I gotta go say hi to Ed.
Yeah, so I'm meeting him on Friday. And so RJ Costello has moved to Jensen Beach High School.
Okay.
And so he's the athletic director. They're all agreeing to help out. So we have 3 high schools that we're hoping, because what it is it's going to be from April 4th for 8 weeks. And it's every Thursday.
Okay.
And it's going to be at 6 p.m. starting on April 4th. And so what we wanted to do is number one, we want volunteers. We want people from this community to come out, and we have to have it. We have to have support, guys. These kids deserve it, and honestly, so.
Yes.
So we wanted to have kind of a rivalry, have like Jensen Beach High School, who can show up more, so we're hoping that Jensen Beach High School and South Fork High School and Martin County High School, they're all going to take one day, and we'll see how many students can come and help and support and run the bases with the kids. And then we also have reached out to the Martin County Sheriff's Department, the Stewart Police Department. We're going to be doing an Officer Appreciation Week.
That's great.
And then we also have the Martin County Fire Department is agreeing to come out on our opening night.
So you've been busy.
Yes. Listen, it's something that we're super passionate about.
While also managing a law practice.
I'm one of the managers. Yeah. So yeah, but we're so excited for this.
That's wild, man. Good for you.
And we have these organizations, but we also want people from the community. Yeah. And honestly, we want you guys to come out April 4th, 6 p.m., Sailfish Park, see what we're all about, see the joy in these children's eyes. And you're never going to go back.
Right.
You're always going to come out. And so registration for Miracle League of Martin County, and I just wanted to, and I know I'm throwing a lot at you right now.
It's okay.
So
we can throw it all out and then kind of unpack it if
Miracle League of Martin County will be opening the registration the first week of February, so it's coming up here shortly. Unfortunately, there's only 30 spots available, and I have a feeling it's going to fill up quick. And the reason why is because we only have 2 sponsors at this time. It's my law firm and Philip D. Berard's law firm.
Good man.
And so we're both I'm trying to make this free for these kids. Like, why should they have to pay to be a part of something? So what I would like to do is have sponsors. And so my firm's going to
click that donate button.
Yeah, right. So
help support.
And I'm going to tell you
God's work.
Miracle League of Martin County. It's miracleleagueofmc.org is our website. You can also check us out on Facebook.
Cool.
And if you have any questions, I'm going to give you guys my cell phone because that's the type of person
Dangerous.
that I am, right?
But yeah.
But I'm going to give it to you because honestly, if you guys need anything, I just want you to reach out to me. And here's an email address. It's info@miracleleagueofmc.org, and then my cell phone 772-207-6996. If you need anything at all, please let us know. Have any questions, let us know. But yeah.
Awesome. So you also have on here 772-224-5382.
That is my wife's number as well.
Sorry.
No. So now you got both of us.
Whoever is quicker to respond.
Exactly.
So tell me more about your family and your story of kind of what led you to being like, I have to do this. What compelled you? You talked about it a little bit, but
honestly, it's because this area has to have something for special needs children. What can you think of something?
No.
Anything at all. We have ARC, which is it's good for special needs individuals, but that's talking about placement of individuals. Where are they going to be placed? The programs that they need. I'm talking about extracurriculars. Can you think of anything? Football, tennis. There's nothing.
Maybe I should ask this. What is the scope of Miracle League beyond baseball? Right? Because I feel like there's more of this in the background that you're aware of and how it works.
There is. So there is there's a
so
roadmap.
People know what's even available that you're trying to deploy into Martin County.
Well, when you say what is available, are you asking me?
Like you're saying, baseball, football.
For right now, it's just going to be baseball. Miracle League of Martin County is just going to be baseball. There are other leagues that can be introduced, like soccer league. I know there's one in West Palm Beach, but for right now, all I want to focus on is the baseball aspect. And let me explain why. Miracle League, there's 3 goals in Miracle League. The first one is to promote facilitate baseball for special needs children.
Got it.
And it's the second one is to promote community support between special needs children and the community. And the third is to promote and to build a special needs facility for these special needs children. And it's a special needs facility that has a rubberized playground, Kiwanis has something in Stewart. It has kind of rubberized, but then there's and if you look at it, there's not really anything for children in wheelchairs. There's not really anything for a lot of children with special needs. There are things like the jungle gym and ropes that you can climb up. But if you actually look at some of these Miracle League facilities that have been...
Give me one to pull up so I can...
Miracle League of West Palm Beach has a great facility. And what it is it's a rubberized baseball field. Okay. Because you got to think about it. These children at some point are going to fall. And if you have clay and dirt and grass, it's going to injure them. So why not we have so many baseball fields here in Martin County. Why can't we convert one of them to help these special needs children? Why can't we convert it for one baseball field for them? And not just for them, it's for everybody. And that's the whole point of Miracle League. We need something to be all inclusive for every child, despite or because of their disabilities. You know, we need something for these children. And so if you look at some of their...
Yeah, you can see I'll pull it up here.
It's rubberized. They have these things, and it's really cool. They have this swing set for wheelchair children, for children with wheelchairs, and it literally allows you to wheel them up into this little carrier, and it locks their wheels in, and then you can push them. It's incredible. And you got to think about it. These kids have never really done that. And swinging, they haven't been able to do. You know what I mean? And it's like the little things that you and I take for granted. And believe me, this is what we all learn as a special needs parent. The little things that you take for granted, it's not there. They're not there for these children. So that's the goal. The real goal of Miracle League is the 3-prong goal. Let's get the baseball going in this city and county. Let's get these special needs children the chance to play baseball. Let's get the community to support that. And then after a few years, when we have some sponsors and have enough donations, let's build a park for them.
And I think that's a big part of the community support side, right? Like
Absolutely.
If there's excitement around what's happening, if there's joy.
Palm Beach County did it, man. Palm Beach County did it. And listen, Martin County, we have such a tight, close-knit community. I mean,
True.
Even though it's a little bit of a bigger community now, it's getting bigger. There's still there's
roots, man.
Yeah, it's a small town. Like I know, everybody, people talk. And the fact is this, there's love in this community. There is. There's good in this community.
Yes, there is.
And there are people in this community that want to help. And they want what's right and what's good. And honestly, that's who we're talking to today. Like, come out, support these children, be a part of something that's going to be incredible. And not only that, be a part of something that's going to change lives, because that's what it does.
So tell me maybe more about Palm Beach County.
So Jeff and Julie Cadell, they're the models. They really are. Because you got to think about it. 1999 was the real first Miracle League in Georgia. 6 years later, they come out, and they're the pioneers in Florida, and they kind of made the Miracle League in West Palm Beach, and they kind of made it their own.
You said 06 was when they...
05.
05.
Yeah, and so they made it their own, and honestly...
And so, you're looking at 07, 08, the economy collapses, and this couple are still able to...
And they expanded...
Raise the resources and
it's gone even bigger. So they started in Delray Beach, and then they made another location in West Palm Beach, and I'm guessing it's because... people like us that are trying to, all the way up north, coming down south, because we need something. We can't go all the way to Delray.
Right.
So give them something in West Palm Beach. And honestly, they did such a tremendous job running this that the All-Star game was actually held last year at the West Palm Beach field. And the All-Star game had 125 children coming from all across the country to go play at this West Palm Beach field. They have such support. It's insane. I mean, they have 2 volunteers for every person, And it's like, we can do that. We can do that here in Martin County. I know we can. But Jeff and Julie are honestly, we're gonna try to do exactly what they've
Good.
done, because
Good.
we need to have something as perfect as they had in West Palm Beach.
And you have a sense of, because it might feel a little overwhelming, right? What you're trying to
It's very
accomplish.
overwhelming.
Do you have a sense of sort of step by step? Are they able to help you with building that?
So yes, we would like to, and we are going to sit down with Julie and Jeff and kind of go over the
Logistically,
of what they've done to make it successful. We just trying to get it going at first.
Sort of who your community partners are going to be, and how the municipalities can help, and who's going to do, who
Exactly.
does that part, and right.
And we went out to.
It seems like you're doing that already, right? You've been busy cross-pollinating.
Yes, and honestly, we
bringing
have
awareness to what you're trying to do.
CBS 12 is supposed to be doing an interview on us on the Miracle League of Martin County, so we're excited about that. They're going to be trying to schedule it either this week or next. I know that we're writing a press release right now. Hopefully, TC Palm will do something with that. But
do you know those guys? Blake Fontenay?
So I don't. Actually, Cindy Lenz was.
Yes.
She asked me to do a press release, and then she would try to get it to all of her friends.
Yep.
And so I said, I'll do that.
She stewards Martin County News.
Yes,
right?
she was. She was the editor. Breaking Martin County.
So anything that you can post, that you can put up there, is good.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But for TC Palm, like Blake Fontenay does a lot of the writing.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, so you need to talk to people.
So that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah,
Trying to get it out there.
Yep. I'm trying to think of what the best direction to go in here is. In terms of what is next for you.
The next steps for Miracle League of Martin County are going to be this: is Kayla and I are going to open registration in February. After we open registration, we're going to have.
Is it for volunteers or more for parents with special needs?
So it's going to be registration for the children itself. We have one coach that has agreed. She was a coach at the original Miracle League in Conyers, so she's going to do the coaching for one of our teams here. We are going to have the two teams, like I said. It's going to be the Miami Marlins versus the Colorado Rockies. Philip is going to be the sponsor for the Marlins, and I'm going to be the sponsor for the Rockies. We can only really do 15. It's going to be our inaugural thing. I'm hoping we can expand it, man, because we already have people coming.
How logistically large is Palm Beach? Like,
oh man,
how many kids, families, teams?
150.
That's wild, man.
150 kids.
And logistically, in terms of how long, you said 8 weeks here, but like how
they do 8 weeks as well. But how they split it up is they have 4 teams in 2 different locations. So they have one location playing, and I think it's on a Saturday. It's on a weekend day or a weekend. And then the other one is Thursdays. So I believe there's 8 teams, and it's honestly there's other Miracle League organizations that have like 30. And wow. I mean, these are huge metropolitan areas, but they have like 30 teams. So my goal is what I would like to do. I know that over at Sailfish Park, there's only 4 fields, and we have to share the parks with other. It's not just us. So we have to share them with other organizations. So I would like to get at least 2 parks, reserved for the next, at least next fall. But yeah.
You know who to talk to?
I do. Jeff, I'm going to talk to Jeff, and I'm going to try to get that. But what I would like to do is we need sponsors. So we need law firms, businesses to step up and just say, hey, it's not a lot. We're asking for you to pay for their trophies, and for you to pay for because every team should have a trophy at the end of the season, and pay for their uniform. That's it. We already have Martin County Police Academy is going to they're talking about it, And I'm thinking they're going to do it. They're going to donate.
Athletic league or
I think
academy?
it's the academy.
Cool.
They have to do an act of service in order to graduate. And so this is what I'm being told, because I talked to some of the cadets, and they said, this is something that we'd love to do for the police academy. So I gave them a list of all the equipment we needed. And we have a private sponsor as well that may donate as well, all the equipment. So we're trying to work out the equipment. So if we can get the equipment, all we really need is liability insurance, permits for the field, and we need to start saving for this. So of course there's different tiers of sponsorship, but the first few years, man, I just want people to come in, sponsor, give what they can, and let's get some more children as part of this league.
Mm-hmm. I like that idea. We were talking a little bit before the camera went on, but the high schools and getting those athletic departments involved with, volunteering, having those kids be involved with this.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So,
I wish I was, man. I mean, honestly, when you're in high school, if you don't have a special needs relative,
you have no idea.
You have no clue.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, and honestly, you can laugh at it and joke around about it. And, when you're with that person and you see that the special needs person is an actual individual and has actual feelings, and is not a joke, because that's how a lot of high school, middle school, be realistic. That's how they treat special needs individuals. A lot of people do.
Anything you're not familiar with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's exactly right, Chris. And that's why we want Miracle League in Martin County. Because once you can be familiarized with special needs individuals, they're not going to be the outcasts. They're not going to be the people that are the lepers or that's them. They're going to be a part of the community. And that is literally why we're here. That's a good point.
Yeah. It's easy to marginalize what's different.
Exactly.
Yeah. And somehow, even if you don't mean to, you can dehumanize,
And so why not get started early? Why not? And Kayla and I talked about this. So what we would like is the volunteers, we're going to cut it off at 15 years old, because they have to have some, we don't want children running around. And let me just caveat that.
Yeah, because it could be what?
Yeah, right? So let me caveat that, though. If the parent is there running with the child,
right,
that's okay.
Yes.
But we can't just let,
you don't want to do daycare?
No, we just can't do that. And we've had
Extended
people
day?
ask that. We've had people say, hey, listen, we have a 9-year-old. Can they run the bases? Sure, if you're running with them.
Exactly.
So but we would love that. Bring your 9-year-old, run the bases, let your 9-year-old understand what a special needs individual is. Like, be around a special needs individual.
Do we have groups locally that cater to special needs kids?
So not just ARC,
like support groups, or not just organizations, but where parents are communicating together, even like a Facebook group or something where there's some support that you can
Hope Center
tap
for
into
Autism.
to show.
Yeah, Hope Center for Autism has it's an actual school here in Martin County. That's really all I know about.
Wild.
It really is. Autism Speaks is it's a national organization, but we're not talking in that. Nobody has there's not a group and that's what Miracle League is all about, because there's nothing like that.
So wild.
And there isn't. There's no support. I'm sure there is a support group somewhere, that I don't know about, that I haven't searched for support groups.
And if you're listening and you do,
please let me know.
Let Trevor know.
Yeah, and I would love to reach out to them. I want anybody and everybody to be a part of this. There is no exclusion in Miracle League. So if you, and I'm not, listen, if I don't know about something, I'd love to be corrected. So if you know something that I don't know, please let me know, because if it's going to help this, I'm all for it.
Do you, in your experience with Palm Beach and watching how these events work, are these events something that bring in people from even outside of that specific town?
Oh yeah.
And this is a leading question, so tell me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And not only that, Well, it's me. I mean, you get families from everywhere trying to be a part of this, and I can guarantee you, once we do this in Martin County, we'll have families from Fort Pierce, St. Lucie County, more up north coming down here too as well. And my hope and my goal is maybe somebody in Fort Pierce can start a Port St. Lucie Miracle League. Let's spread this like wildfire, man.
This is why I'm asking. Is from the standpoint of tourism.
Mm-hmm.
And economic development. The county specifically has a board. I sit on it, the Tourism Development Council, along with other commissioners and hoteliers. There is bed tax money. So if you have an event that puts heads in beds, is what they say.
So yeah,
there is money available. And in fact, there's a sports league currently that, utilizes part of that money, but often there's a pretty wild surplus to help support exactly what you're trying to do. So they have money to help to donate to these kind of events if it will put heads in beds.
That's what Miracle League of Palm Beach just did. I mean, they just had their all-star
her name that basically runs that, staff from Martin County that brings that to that board for approval. Her name is Narissa. I'll link you guys up.
Perfect,
but
man.
That would be another layer of support from the county, because this sounds exactly like what we already support.
That'd be awesome.
Is putting heads in beds, and I know you're just getting started, but
we're gonna spread like wildfire.
I think so too.
I can already tell you, man.
And potentially even working with that sports council.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there's some, synchronicity there with you guys too.
Like I said, man, West Palm Beach did that all-star game, and that brought in a lot of people. And not only did it bring in a lot of people, it brought in a lot of celebrities. There's like 40 major league baseball players who support certain types
that's
of.
Great.
And you got to think about it. It's their job. It's something. It's their career. So when they see, and not only that, Miracle League is actually inducted as a team in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Which it's incredible.
Yes, it is.
But there's so many people that are trying to help, and honestly, I'm hoping that, and I know there are celebrities here in Martin County. I know there's a baseball player here in Martin County he's a former baseball player, and he actually helped start one of the fast pitch or slow pitch leagues here in Martin County, and I'm hoping we can get him. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Proctor?
What is it?
Proctor?
Maybe that's it. But I'm hoping we can get some support from them.
He's a good dude. He was in front of the commission the other night because they're working on renovating the fields.
Proctor?
Yeah, his dad's an accountant. I went to school with his sister was like a year or two younger than me, but yeah, Proctor.
Well, it'd be awesome. It'd be awesome.
Well, he was an accountant. I think he retired. I don't know.
It'd be awesome to have him or anybody
There's good
else.
people here, man.
Yeah.
There's, especially around baseball.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
We'll just link it. We'll link it all together.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
America's pastime, and honestly, if you just came out and saw these kids' faces,
you'd be undone.
That's it, man.
Yep.
That's it. It was it for me. And I'm biased because I saw my son do it. And it lit a fire in me. But I think if I came out and my son wasn't doing it, I'd still feel the same way. Mm-hmm. It's a good thing for good children.
I mentioned this to you before, my sort of selfish, when we're talking about development and use of dirt in the city of Stewart, Martin County, and I know those ball fields are used, but whenever developers start looking around for what's next to develop, especially if a bright line station goes in over there, there's a lot of pressure to have those ball fields become apartments or something, condos, something that's higher and better used than just being empty green space, parks.
And where are we putting the kids?
Right. So to have something like what you're doing, serving the most, I don't know, everybody's valuable, but it's such a special group of human beings, and have that be anchored to those ball fields, you know, so that there is no confusion about how special that space is, how valuable that space is, and we wouldn't even consider paving them over with concrete and buildings. If anything, we'll be investing more money into rubberizing one of those fields.
That's exactly it.
You know, having a playground that
it's the center of
that's
Stewart.
accessible for, you know, more than just able kids.
Sailfish Park is the center of Stewart.
And that's why it's so valuable.
I mean, that's the whole reason why we chose. There's so many. This is Miracle Lake of Martin County. So we could have went to Palm City. Right. We could have went to Jensen Beach. We could Langford Park. And I'm sure that we could have gotten all these other parks that probably wouldn't have cost money. We probably would have been able to just fit in there.
Yep.
But we chose Sailfish Park for a reason. Mm-hmm. And that's because it is the center of Stewart. Stewart is the community we want this to be in, because this is such, like I said, a tight-knit, incredible community. It's right across from the courtyard or the courthouse.
Yes.
We're right in Martin Luther King Boulevard. Mm-hmm. It's for everybody. This is literally the middle of Stewart. So no, we don't want to go anywhere else. I mean, we wouldn't want it that we don't want more apartments here. I mean, I don't. So
I would rather
have
the people who live here,
exactly,
and their kids. Do you have any sense of statistically the rates of autism, of special needs? I know anecdotally it's been going up. I know those numbers have been increasing dramatically.
I don't know what the rate of increase of autism is, but
just in terms of need for something like this, it's obviously very relevant and necessary, but to me it seems like it's increasingly going to be so, you know.
When we were growing up, I didn't know a lot of kids with autism. I can't remember that many. Honestly, I can't.
Right.
Now it's like everybody has a child. I mean, truthfully, I have so many friends.
The numbers are through the roof.
It's huge.
And it seems like we sort of pretend like it's not a thing, and
we kind of just push them to the side. Like it's just we don't need to think about that. It's fine.
But at some point, it's so prevalent that you hit critical mass, and you know, as a community, you need to start really.
You know, you said it best, Chris. When you were talking, when you said, "What is there for children with autism? What is there for what support group is there?" There's nothing, man. And I'm not trying to sound selfish. I'm not, but I know personally how
you're representing more people than you.
Exactly.
Right.
I know personally how it feels to want more for my child, and not be able to have the opportunity for them to do what they want to do. Mm-hmm. I mean, and there's no good reason for it. There isn't. I mean, we do everything for everybody else, but special needs individuals they take a back seat. And when you really think about what we get to do for extracurriculars, what we can do for fun, parents of special needs children, and I don't want it to be about parents. I want it to be about the kids, but parents are also a factor as this as well. The whole family, they just don't have the opportunity to be included in things in the community. I know my son, he stims a lot. And so when I say when he stims, is he flaps and and he'll start screaming in the middle of public. And so as a parent, you know, the first thing you think of is, oh my gosh, everybody thinks that my kid's just a brat and I'm just a bad parent. And
really?
Oh my gosh, man, you really do, because you don't know how many looks you get when
True.
you have a special needs child.
Yeah,
like,
nobody knows her.
They don't know what you're going through. So
they're
kind of looking at you like, hey man, get
your kid under control.
Yeah. Why can't you get this kid to stop yelling?
True.
And it's like, you just don't get it. You don't understand what I'm going through. And that's what programs like this is for. It's not only for I mean, that's why it's a prong in this, is to promote community support between special needs children and the community. It's a prong in this because there is no community involvement when it comes to special needs children, and parents and children and special needs adults, they deserve that inclusiveness, that feeling, that team building, that love, that support, that cheering, that they deserve that. And I want to segue to one thing on that,
Sure.
on that note. My, this is not about just special needs children. Okay. Miracle League is there is no age limit. So if your child is 25, 30, and he wants to come play baseball, come to Miracle League.
That's great, man. That's awesome. It's everybody.
It is. It's everybody and anybody. And because these individuals sometimes have the mindset of a child. So why exclude them from playing?
Just looking at, I flashed it on the screen, but on Autism Speaks, and again, we're just talking about autism here. This isn't even special needs across the board, right? Just autism. It's got from 2004, this is according to CDC, from 2004 to 2020. You go from, in 2004, 1 in 166 kids, to in 2020, 1 in 54.
So think about how many
That's
kids.
insane.
How many kids are in Martin County?
That's insane.
How many kids do you think are in Martin County? Thousands, right? Hundreds of thousands. How many special needs children do you think are here in Martin County?
But that rise, I mean, you would naturally, your next, that line doesn't just go flat there. You're on a path. You're on a trajectory, right? So now,
shouldn't the incentives and support for these individuals be rising as well?
And that's CDC. Like, if anything, I would think those are incredibly conservative numbers.
Yep.
So
I would agree with that.
So then in another 10 or 20 years, are we now seeing 1 in 25? Are we, so if that's the truth, you're kind of in the pocket of what is good in terms of preparing for that by trying to create the infrastructure in the community now to prepare for, for whatever reason. We don't even have to try to get into cause or speculate, but it appears that is, going to be continued trajectory for all of our kids,
And our grandchildren.
Yes.
Nephews, nieces. I mean, let's be realistic here. At some point,
you're not talking about some marginalized, tiny infinitesimal group of people. This is, quickly rising.
And at some point,
and again, that's just autism.
Exactly.
That's one bucket. Not to be, pessimistic, but honest.
No, that's the facts. And like I said, it's only going, and like you said, it's only going up. So support needs to go up. We should have support rising at the same rate that that autism is rising. There should be more groups in Martin County. And I'm hoping that this starts it out.
That's crazy. I'm still blown away by that.
And it, honestly, just, you never expect it, to happen to you. You never expect to have a special needs child. And Johnny has been a blessing. And I don't want to demonize or dehumanize a special needs individual. Everything about Johnny is he's my light, man. I just want opportunities for him. That's all I'm here for. Let's get some opportunities for these individuals.
I'll give you another one. This is Autism Community in Action.
317. Right.
What's interesting about this is where the last one started in 2005. This goes back further. So even in 1995, you're looking at 1 in 1,000.
Ooh.
And this continues that trajectory. It didn't stop in 2020. This has those same numbers at 1 in 54 in 2020, but it has continued with reporting by the CDC, and now you're at 1 in 36 as of last year. I mean, if that doesn't say it, how much of a need there is for a thing.
1 in 36, man. That is
36 kids you're looking at.
Yeah.
Again, this is all reported, so it's probably much higher than this. This is just what's being reported to the CDC. So if there was ever a need for a thing, this is it.
Absolutely. And
again, assuming that prevalence is going to continue to increase.
So we are very excited to get this here in Martin County. And
Thank you for doing it.
No. Honestly, it needed to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in a position where I can help. And so why not?
How do you sort of go out and make people aware that you what you're doing even exists? Because I'm sure it feels like often you're on an island by yourself.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Trying to help your special needs kid
or
kids.
It's been rough. I don't know the best ways because I'm not technologically savvy. I'm not great. I mean, this is incredible to me, this podcast and everything. I mean, you got it all down.
No, I don't.
But I'm
it's appearance.
But I'm not, technologically savvy. I'm not in all these Facebook things, groups.
Maybe creating a Facebook group.
So we have one.
Perfect.
So we have the Miracle League. We already, we announced it on Stewart Moms. We announced it on
Perfect.
Breaking Martin County. We announced it on Breaking St. Lucie. Mm-hmm. All these things. And we got a pretty fair response. We have about 67 followers on our Facebook page and everything. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty good. We can do better though, I think.
Yeah. Just continuing to, I've noticed with content or posting that you have to keep, we're all so busy, man. There's so many things competing for attention that it's almost like, and I'm this way too. You have to show me or remind me. My wife's got to tell me 10 times something, you got to keep flushing me and then, oh yeah, it hits a critical mass for me. And then, I'll take action and go after a thing. So just continuing to be consistent, weekly.
We're probably going to put it up again.
Just keep sharing, hey, this registration's coming, this is coming. Hey, I'm sure you heard, but I'm just going to tell you again, this is existing. This is what we're trying to do. This is what they're doing in Palm Beach. Mm-hmm. Please join this group, not for the purpose of us, but so that there's more awareness locally that this is available for kids,
mm-hmm.
So we can have more and more people championing it. Just keep bang,
We're going to do that. We have to put something out for registration, which is in the next 2 weeks. We're gonna do that. I'm gonna try to draft a letter and send it out to local businesses, kind of explaining what's going on, and then I'd like to get it into the newspaper. I just need that contact information and everything from you. And
I'll contact Blake, who I think is who would write about this. I'll contact Blake and I'll ask him if I can share his number with you.
Yeah, no, that'd be perfect.
And if he says yes, I'll.
And then I went out,
text introduction you guys or whatever.
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome. And then I went out and I discussed it on the at the commissioners. I think it was this December.
That was great. You should do that more.
Should I go back there and kind of?
So one of the things that we do formally are proclamations at one of our 2 meetings each month. It will start earlier because there's often like an hour, 45 minutes of proclamations. So it will be mm-hmm. different groups, support groups, battered women group, this, and they are bringing public awareness, and the city will formally have a resolution that is associated with that proclamation. So it's an official by the city, acknowledgement that the city of Stewart supports advocating for, XYZ. So your group should be one of those resolutions and proclamations, once a year, biannually, leading up to your event.
So how would I get a proclamation? What would I need to do?
You would reach out to me, or you would reach out to like Mary, who's our clerk, or city manager, and they would draft the resolution. And then leading up to your event, you said it's in April.
Mm-hmm. April 4th.
Right. So maybe like the month before, you would have that formal proclamation where, you would, the city attorney would read it, whereas.
So you and I definitely
Stewart,
need to,
yada, yada, resolutions, you're a lawyer.
Yeah. And so you and I need to definitely sit down because you're giving, I wish I kind of brought a notepad and a paper because you're giving me a lot of good
Yeah, we'll get it.
leads here.
Yeah. So and then that would be part of the lead up to your event to help bring public awareness.
And then the opening day is going to be fun. It's going to be, we're going to have the fire department's going to be there. They said they're going to bring a couple crews. So I'm thinking it's going to be pretty big.
You would reach out to Misty is her name. She's like our PR for the city, and she does all the social media posting. So you would reach out to Misty and try to make sure Misty is available to be there and take photos on behalf of the city of Stewart so that it can be shared. And you met...
yeah, what was his name? Community Outreach.
Yes.
Yep.
Contact him. He will get Misty there, but that kind of parks community crew will be your people.
Okay.
To get a lot of that done with the city.
Okay.
And he may even be able to get you linked up with the city manager in terms of crafting a resolution. He may push that up the chain, and if it not, just let me know.
The community outreach guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So.
And then Joseph, I think the city of Stewart, or the chief of police.
He's the best, dude.
He's so awesome, man.
Tumo's real people.
He just came up to me and just gave me a card. He goes,
he's coming on here next week.
He's honestly
real people, man.
He was the first person to kind of be behind it, and it meant a lot knowing that the chief of police for Stewart was behind it. So it kind of gave us a push. We're like, hey, we're doing something right if the chief of police is behind us. Yeah. So
he's good.
So we're so excited to have him, Martin County Police Department, the fire department. I mean, honestly, we have I actually spoke to I spoke at an Inns in Court. It's where lawyers and judges, they kind of meet up. And do skits, and it's like all about ethics. And
nice.
I actually was able to speak at the Inns of Court, and I kind of told this to the judges and everything. And we have a few judges who are going to be coming out on almost every week to kind of run the bases. So you have like the leaders.
I'm gonna give you a Bible verse. Okay.
Okay.
You receive not because you ask not. Okay. And I don't mean that as like an indictment or anything. I mean it as I really believe you have a thing here that is so special and valuable that if you just ask anybody, if you continue that path of just asking, just reaching out and asking, I think you're going to continue to have heaps of support.
That's what we want.
You may have to poke a few times to get attention, but keep doing what you're doing because it's such a good thing. I don't see how anybody would be antagonistic to you. Your worst enemy will be apathy. So just keep doing it.
I'm going to.
If you ask, you'll receive on this kind of stuff.
It's all about who you know and how you get the message out there. And that's why I'm here. That's why I went to that commissioners meeting.
Yep.
That's why I'm trying to get it out to everybody and anybody.
What about at the county? The county commission?
Do you think I should?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the same way that you are going to let the city take the lead so you can have a precedent there, you're going to reach out, like we said, and get a resolution started for a proclamation. But at the same time, you should be preparing a proclamation for a county commission meeting as well.
Okay.
So you can kind of get that started with the city, and then you can have an example to bring to the county of what you're going to be presenting.
When are those usually county ones?
Our meeting will be on a Monday. Theirs will be on a Tuesday.
Okay.
So it's every other, not every other, the second and fourth in the city. I think something similar in the county.
I'm there.
Ours is Monday. Theirs is Tuesday.
I'm there.
But you would have your proclamation read there as well as part of that, community support, municipal support. And that it's just layers of that, right? Like you're getting increasingly connected to the municipal government with something that's good. So the parks are supporting you.
I'd love to get the commissioners to come run out. I'm serious.
And I mean, even if they were, and I'm not accusing them of this, even if they were just, sociopathic politicians, it would still be great PR, right? But if there is even the tiniest little beating heart of humanity in them, they're gonna love it.
That's what I'm saying, man.
It's heaven, to see kids smiling and laughing, especially on little faces that are probably often crying or struggling. There's nothing better than that, man. You can see those little,
Chris,
like
honestly,
crow's feet
man,
smile.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's. have you just looked at some of these pictures in this binder and you saw it with these kids? It's I think of like the Grinch when his heart grows.
Exactly.
That's seriously how it is. Like
Bullseye.
I can't describe it any other way. I mean, your heart will grow when you see this. You'll just go, I mean, this is beautiful. So
Yeah.
all that being said, I would love anybody and everybody to come out. I will be doing background checks just so everybody's on the
Thank you.
Yeah, I will be doing background checks on anybody that's going to be coming out, like coaching, team moms, umpire, announcer, volunteers. Now, teenagers, I'm not going to be doing background checks on like the kids that are coming out from high schools and everything, because they're going to be accompanied by the sports administrator and their teams and everything. But adults will be background checked.
So, I think it's important for people to have a, when, where, what thing. So, we're talking about the registration for the kids is starting
first
February
week of February.
1.
Yes, first week of February we're going to put it up. I can't give an exact date because we're still trying to work out kinks in
terms of volunteers for events and support. Is it something that you're saying you want to make sure that they're vetted out?
Yeah,
right?
so exactly.
Is there a sign up registration for that?
Yes. So what we've done
process?
What we have on our website is we have volunteer, like a little section, and
I think I saw
and
that.
it basically will allow you to kind of give us your contact information, give us everything, and then we will reach out to you and kind of get the process started. There is also, and I just wanted to say this. So
yeah.
So we do need we have an announcer. I'd like to have a backup just in case somebody gets sick. We have one coach. I'd like to have 3 more. There is this. It's a cute little mascot. His name is Homer. I'm not expecting Homer the mascot. I'm not expecting a mascot the first year, but I mean, I'd love to have one for the kids. They love it. So next year we probably would need somebody that's a mascot.
Probably get Sammy the sailfish out there.
Hey, that'd be awesome.
You know Sammy the sailfish?
Isn't that our mascot of Stuart?
Yes.
Let's get him out there too.
Any excuse to get Sammy out there. There's actually a Sammy and like his, I don't think it's his girlfriend. It's his sister. Like
Really?
Sammy the girl sailfish.
No, and honestly, just anybody that wants to come out. We would love to have you. We'd love to have just sign up on the volunteer section. Send us an email. We will send you an email back, kind of getting the process started. If you want to come out one day, that's fine. If you want to come out every single Thursday, that'd be even better. We are going to start out at 6 p.m. There's Sammy. And here, I'm going to show you Homer.
Homer's a good one for baseball.
That's what I'm saying. And honestly, like I said, the kids love it.
Recycling's important and water
There's
preservation, but I think Sammy needs to get into sports a little bit.
That'd be awesome to have him.
Not
man.
just recycling.
Well, no, not only that, we're gonna have but it's a sailfish. We're gonna have the marlins, so you could try to make it look like a
marlin.
No, but we would love to have them. But you brought up a good point about buddies, and I wanted to kind of talk about that. So we need people to come out. I'd love to have donations for Miracle League. But more importantly, I want volunteers and support. Yeah, I want people to fill those bleachers.
Time is more valuable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
attention, right? Because you have these little kids who love their parents and the energy they put into them, but to have other kids and other adults
screaming their name,
high-fiving them
as they're coming across the home
smiling
plate.
at them.
Yeah, man.
Giving them attention.
That's what they need. And buddies do that. And what buddies will do is they have to make sure that they're around this child. They're like attached at the hip. I mean, because especially these kids, they have a mind of their own. I mean, you can try to direct them towards certain things, but you'll see sometimes a kid will start running. Sure. I mean, he'll just take off running out in the middle of middle of the field. Yeah. And you got to have buddies that are going to be able to run with them and make sure that they're okay. Let them be them. but guide them to what they're supposed to be doing. But let them be themselves.
It's about fun.
It is about fun.
Right.
And all that being said, we understand that it's going to be different for people that are coming in to volunteer. We understand that you're going to listen, the best things in life happen when you're out of your comfort zone.
Totally.
So you got to get out of that comfort zone. And honestly, when you get out there, there's going to be some, it's going to be different, and you're going to have to acclimate, and it's going to be some learning. But you'll get it. And honestly, you'll get a lot from it. And so buddies, what we're going to do is we're going to do buddy training. And what we'd like to do is probably about 2 or 3 weeks before April 4th, we're going to have a buddy training seminar.
So you need to get moving, right? You got to get humans in there.
And that's what we're trying to do. And that's why it's and we've been working on this for 9-10 months now.
But it's go time.
And now it's the rubber's hitting the pavement, and we need to get people going on this. So that's why there's this, we're pushing.
I get it.
We're pushing.
Yep.
So we have a lot of people.
So are you doing a formal sort of buddy sign up?
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to put out, it's going to be kind of I have a sign up sheet. We have a lot of people.
But that you can post online?
Yes.
On Facebook?
That's going to
happen.
happen.
County News.
Registration. That's going to happen. The
quick
same
little
time
clip of you saying, hey, this, like what you just said, buddy sign up. It's time.
Yep. It's actually a good idea.
Yeah.
To announce buddy sign up as well.
And keep hitting right now, because that you have a window there. In order to be able to do training, you got to have that crew of people.
Yep. So we're gonna probably do that sometime in March. The first few weeks of March, we'll do buddy training, and then we're just gonna go and listen. We know, because it happens in Palm Beach as well. And Palm Beach, like I said, is the model. But there are times where I had to run the bases with my kid. There are times where it's like, okay, the buddy's not here. You're going to have to step up. So we want the parents, listen, truthfully, a lot of Miracle League, some of the best parts is being able to watch.
Right.
I mean, it really is. I mean, because as a parent to a special needs child, you're always...
It's always you.
Hands on. You're
always you.
But to be able to sit back and watch your kid and see it, and not have to, be a part of it, go run the bases with them, but being able to watch them, there's joy in that as well as running the bases. So I would love the parents to be able to kind of get a breather and be able to watch their children and watch the joy in their children.
I get it.
But there are going to be, I know there are going to be times where the parents, and this is going to be kind of I'm telling the parents this, there are going to be a time as parents, if you're going to sign up your child to Miracle League or your adult child to Miracle League, there needs to be an understanding that if we can't get volunteers running, I'll run with your kid, but you need to also help, run with your child as well. You're going to have to step up and be that volunteer. I don't want that to happen.
You're going to come as we're getting closer, and the event is getting more formalized, and you're going to come again and do public comment at the commission, and you're going to encourage every one of those that are sitting up there on that dais to come be a buddy. You're going to encourage.
I'm going to.
You're going to encourage the city manager to encourage staff to be there. You're going to continue to lovingly encourage all of us, as it's getting closer and it starts to become more relevant. Yes, I need to make sure that's penciled in, kind of thing.
It's a good idea. I'm not just going to announce it, but I have to follow up and check.
And even with me, right? We're having this conversation today, but it's not a one and done conversation. We're going to talk again, and as we're getting closer, and it's hitting that
urgency.
Yeah. I'm that's right. That is that thing I want to do.
Yep.
Let me make sure I mark it down, and we're going to talk again, and so we can generate that last push of buddies and people running bases and everything too. So, and
it'd be great that, honestly, and another cool thing that we have is we had a professional photographer reach out, and that did baseball.
That's great.
Professional baseball photographs. And he said, I'll do it for free. So to be able to have that as well, we have a website up. I'm going to plug it again. I'm going to say it again. www.miracleleagueofmc.org. If you have any, and go on there. If you want to contact us or anything, just go on. There's a volunteer section. There's a donate section. Go on there, donate, put your name and contact information. I can guarantee you within a few hours we will be responding.
What does it cost to run something like this, so people have a sense of the expense, right?
So okay, let me explain everything. So for uniforms, it's around, I'd say around $600.
Yep.
Just for your uniforms for the 15 kids. Miracle League of Palm Beach County, they have just a regular plain T-shirt, which is fine. I'm not knocking them at all, but I'd like to have an actual uniform.
Yeah.
You know, so that's around $600. Philip DeBerard has already said yes. Our office is going to say yes.
That's
do
great,
that.
man.
But then there's the trophies on top of that. I'd say like maybe $80 to $100. But then you're going into liability insurance for each child is around $20 to $30 each child, and that's $900 right there. Field, it's a $200 deposit, and then every time that we're there, it's around $50 plus lighting. Mm-hmm. You're looking at all the equipment that we have to have, first aid, banners, marketing. We have to pay dues to the original Miracle League of $500 every year. Mm-hmm. We have to pay our state and federal stuff. We're gonna have to get a CPA to do the taxes. Which, by the way, if you're a CPA and you want to help out in any way, we would love to have somebody help us out with the taxes. But truthfully, Chris, we don't want kids to pay for this.
Right. Exactly.
I don't. You know, and
you want to be a blessing all around.
But most Miracle Leagues have them pay. Most Miracle Leagues will ask the children to pay because it really is hard.
And if we can't come up with the donations, that might have to be the case. And we don't want that. Right?
Exactly.
And
because
why help would be great.
It's crucial. Yes. It really is. Because and honestly,
and you're doing God's work.
That's where I'm not asking for millions here.
Right.
We just whatever you have, help out a little bit, and whatever we don't need, we're going to put into a bank, and we're going to be able to make a field at some point. Right. We're going to do like a rubberized field,
exactly,
an all-inclusive playground for every and all children. I mean,
sorry, I need to go on your view here. There you go.
No, it's fine. So I mean, honestly, like I said though, donations are great, and we need them. And I don't want to say, oh, we don't need. We need donations, but what I really want is volunteers as well. And I'm going to keep pushing it.
You're right.
I just want, because can you imagine like if we had like 100 people at the opening game?
More than if parents had to pay, it will mean more to those kids to see a crowd of people.
Yeah, if the parents have to pay $30, $40, okay. Right. You know, they'll
but
do
for
it.
the kids,
to
see people.
That's all it is, man.
Clapping for them.
Yeah.
Helping them around the base.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're screaming their name, high-fiving them, being happy, just seeing joy in other kids. Like I told you.
Right. People not looking at them like something's wrong with them.
Yes. Like, hey.
Confused about why
is he screaming? Now,
right.
No, they're, hey, yeah, good job, Johnny.
Everything you're doing is right. Everything you're doing
They
is
need
good.
that. They need encouragement. You know?
You never think about that, which is, I don't, right? Because this is not something that's day to day for me. But to be a person that is constantly encountered, right? Because how you interact with the world, right? The way people respond to you consistently, right?
Those stares, the
looks, right? Mm-hmm. Even if it's unintentional, you know, I mean, people don't mean to be mean, but if you're consistently encountering looks that are not happy and friendly and warm and accepting, and
well, they have that study where
the
mom looks at the baby and doesn't even say anything and does faces, and it's all about body language. I mean, half of our communication is body language, and even more than half of our communication is body language. And if you are constantly like, I mean, honestly, you hit the nail on the head. If you are constantly like,
yes,
you know, come on, like that's all these children are experiencing. And honestly,
especially as a child, right? You don't have as an adult, I have I don't know if maturity is the word, but I can make rationale for why. Oh, they're probably having a bad day, or they don't know me. You know, I can give grace for that, and it's not affecting who I am,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because I've developed that person. But a kid, like that look or that attitude or that's you're still forming that. So how could I have full value of who I am as a being, a person?
You get it, man.
Okay, cool.
No, you get it. That's exactly what I'm trying to convey. And honestly, I'm not joking when I tell you this. When I tell you that you can see, there's a one child that when we played in Miracle League of West Palm Beach, the first year he came in, he wouldn't stop. He was just very like upset. He was like, he would try to like bite the buddy. He try to do that. And so they would put more mature buddies with this person. And he just didn't, you could tell he, it was more, I thought like, okay, maybe he didn't like it. Maybe he didn't like being here. But you could tell he was just upset a lot.
Yeah.
After 2 years, man, this kid is like,
Different.
I'm not kidding.
Totally
It's
different
a completely different
person.
kid.
Right.
He's happy. There's joy in him being there. He's loving everybody. He's giving me, last time I was there, he came up to me and he wouldn't stop giving me hugs. Like I was sitting there and he was, and I'm like, hey, and there's pictures of the whole time I'm there. It's just him hugging me. And it's like, he 100% wasn't like that the first year that he was there.
Yeah.
These children are changed by this, just by having community support. I don't want to sound like a broken record.
No, you're not.
But
it's true though.
It's something that these children need. It's something that Martin County needs. Mm-hmm. It's something that the parents need. It's something that this community needs. It's something that these people that aren't volunteers now, that are going to be, that they need, and they don't know. Yeah, they don't know it. And they need, and it's a blessing all around.
Like even for you personally, to watch that change in that child,
God,
that did something to you. That you're gonna be a different person because that is now in you. You've experienced that.
Do you remember? There are things that there are people in my life that they probably felt like they were so insignificant.
Right. I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. And they probably were just a person. I'm just a person. And they meant a lot. They were key figures in my life. Yep. And they had no clue. I can guarantee you that somebody that's volunteering,
you will be that
for that child. I can guarantee that. I can guarantee it. Because if you're out there and you're helping support them, and this is something that they're looking forward to every single week, and they do. My child does. He knows when we're getting it, and when we put on his jersey, he knows what's happening.
No, yeah, he's probably freaking out.
He loves it. He's like, he starts stimming. He's happy, man. Yeah. And it's like, why not? Why aren't we doing it? And so it has to happen. We're moving forward on this. I don't care if I have to, like I told you, if people aren't going to show up, I'll run the bases.
Exactly.
I don't care.
Yes.
This is
such
happening.
a good thing.
This is happening. And if they're not going to be a part of it, you're going to have to step out of the way, because I'm going to make sure that this happens in Martin County.
I think you got God on your side. So
I do too. This is prayer. It's a lot of prayer. And honestly, it's good. It's what we need here, and honestly, I believe we have God on our side too.
Yeah, man. It's the least of these. That kind of a verse is, if you have anything, if you have influence, if you have money, if you have time, to give that to the least of these.
Oh yeah. At first, I was like, "Wait, what do you?" But then, absolutely, man.
To support and benefit and help somebody who can't help themselves,
mm-hmm.
Or bless their parents.
And it's baseball, man. I'm not asking you to go and sit in a room with these kids and teach them geometry or something. I'm asking you to go out, run some bases with some children. It's not. This is fun, man. Yes. Everybody loves baseball. That's why we're doing this. Everybody. This is our national pastime. If you don't love baseball, I shouldn't talk. Okay, you don't love baseball, but everybody loves baseball. I mean, this is something everybody can have fun with. Everybody can have fun with.
I'll try to find the there's the name of the group that is doing that rehabilitation of the park. I feel like you should meet them and talk to them.
I'd love to, man.
Yeah. It was like Proctor, and I think his wife was there at that last meeting. But there was a group, they had shirts on where this is kind of their thing that they do, working with kids and baseball. So it's like, man, Trevor.
Give me all their names, man.
Yeah.
I'd love to sit down with these people.
Them.
I'd love to.
And I feel like they would be all in. I don't know them well, but. And then just piece by piece, man. Doing what you're doing.
You know, I'm stupid, but it's rough doing this and everything. But man, inch by inch, life's a cinch, yard by yard, it gets hard, and we're trying to. And that's why I love all these things you're throwing at me, because and this is why I like talking to people about it.
Absolutely.
Because I don't consider some things, and you're saying, oh, why don't you make sure you're following up? Why don't you make sure you're doing the buddy registration at the same time of registration? It's genius. These are things that I'm not going to be able to think about. I would love to have people that want to throw me any idea that you think is going to help this league get going and be successful. Please let me know. Shoot me a text. Shoot me a Facebook message. I'd love it. I'd love to have you guys and whoever be a part of this.
But probably more than even, I think of running a campaign, right? Because that's what you're doing. You're running a campaign. It's just not for political office. It's trying to do good for kids. But you'll have a lot of people who want to be your campaign manager, but not necessarily anybody who wants to,
be in the trenches,
run the email list, and go door to door. It's always going to be you by yourself. To some extent.
I'm ready for it though.
In the beginning,
but truthfully, Chris, I'm ready.
And as people touch against what you're trying to do, because you have this thing inside of you because you've experienced it. Mm-hmm. And if somebody else hasn't, you can't give that you can't articulate that. You can talk about it. You can show videos and pictures.
There's so many parents though.
But when somebody gets wrecked and they're walking around that base with that kid and they're doing this and they're going, oh man, they're in it. Now it's real. They're an advocate for it. They understand the depth of it.
That's why. So
it's not just doing something to make you feel like a better person or because it's the right thing to do. Like, this is it.
That's why, honestly, that's why I'm trying to get people to come out one game because I know I'm going to hook you. I know I'm going to hook you, man. Like, once you go out there that one time, you're done. You're going to be out here every single time.
Yep. And even as a municipality, I know when the city is hosting this and if we can get Misty out there and it's, we're featuring this and trying to help bring more awareness to it, that we're going to be hooked too.
No, I know.
It's going to be proclamations. It's going to be, same kind of a thing.
I'm so excited. I really am. Like it's this energy and fire for this because, and that's why I'm saying, like, if you like, this is going to happen, like, because it is going to happen. But I know once it starts, I know it's going to catch. I know there are people who are going to fall in love with it. People are going to show up all the time. I know it. So we just need the fire to start. Mm-hmm. So
You're doing it. And then I was curious, you were talking about the space for kids. That, that third,
the third
kind of mission statement thing. That's happened in Palm Beach.
Oh, it's happened in Palm Beach. It's happened almost in almost every Miracle League that gets started and it becomes successful.
It's like a Kiwanis, but it's more accessible to special needs as well, kind of thing. What are we talking about?
Yes, it's exactly like Kiwanis. It's like Kiwanis, but more inclusive.
Awesome.
And because what I was telling you, I think I was telling you before we even started, there are these in Palm Beach County. There are these things that are like these wheelchair locks that you can swing. Children with wheelchairs, they are able to swing. There are all these playground accessories that you could not even imagine. I mean, that are inclusive to special needs children. I mean, and it's just not just sensory play. That's what Kiwanis Park has, and I'm not.
It's good.
I'm not downing it.
Nobody's knocking that.
There's sensory play there, but that's it. it is only designed really only designed for special needs children with autism. But what about the kids with wheelchairs? What about the kids that are Down syndrome? What about, I mean, there are other things, not just sensory seeking children, because autism is a spectrum. So there are people there are children, individuals, I should say, that are sensory seekers, and there are individuals that are sensory avoiders. So it's great that you're providing something for, and I'm not knocking it. It's great that you're providing sensory seeking playground sets for the children with autism, but there's so much more that we can do. Why not have a whole playground for special needs individuals that's inclusive of special needs individuals? I mean, there are God, I wish I could just show these contraptions.
I'm kind of looking at one right now in Jonesboro. They have a Miracle League Park, but Landscape Structures has it on their website because they built it. Just kind of showing it off, which is cool. Yes, I agree.
But if you see most of these playgrounds, they're right next to the park, and the same thing is in Palm Beach County.
I've been griping about it for a little bit, which is the park that we had there by those baseball fields was kind of falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of opportunity for something like this there.
Huge opportunity, man.
Yeah.
Huge
Not
opportunity.
that I don't love our parks, but
there's
always opportunity.
Exactly. There's always ways to improve them. And we're improving Kiwanis right now. I think for like the fourth time, which is, I'm not knocking it, but we're improving Kiwanis right now. So why wouldn't we be able to?
And the city joins in funding for that, but a lot of that comes from other donors, and
Miracle League of Palm Beach County was able to get like 8 to 10 donors that were giving them like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I wonder if you could even talk to Kiwanis if they might want to link up with you.
Maybe
you guys, but I know like Tom Campenny, his family donates money towards Kiwanis, but they're doing it to beef up and improve the parks for kids. So, maybe either those people individually, or if it's better to go through Kiwanis or something. There might be some opportunity there,
Again, that's somebody you're gonna have to give me his name
when you get that third prong.
Yeah.
Brewing.
Yeah, let's get these first two, though. I need support from the community, and I need to get this baseball league going.
It's fun to think about, though.
I can't. Honestly, it's fun to think about because it's doable. Even though it seems massive that we're going to have to raise funding for, a new park, inch by inch, man, it's doable. We could do it.
With God, you can do anything.
All things are possible, right?
That's it. You even know the verse, man. Yeah, I was trying to pull up. I was looking for that swing you were talking about where you're in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
There's this thing. It's like where they sit, and there's space for the wheelchair that can pop out, pop back.
I mean, but that's something that's exactly kind of what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's room for a child that has a disability to be able to interact and play with neurotypical children. Even like literally just making room. That's literally it, man. And that's what I'm talking about when I tell you that there's room. these.
I don't even need a special swing. Just make enough room that I can be physically present
around other kids, around my peers.
Yep. That's wild, man.
But do you see? I mean, that's all. I mean, that's, as a child, that's all I wanted, was to be included. I wanted to be loved, included, people to like me. I mean, that's what I wanted. I mean,
he's just trying to talk to babes.
That's exactly right.
He just wants a chance. He needs room.
That's what I'm saying, man. But you get it, Chris. And honestly, I think the most of your listeners get it and understand it as well.
We're all human. We may not be aware, because it doesn't impact us directly every day. If your kids aren't special needs. But I think the human element, you can touch the human element in people if you're telling the story and you're showing them, and especially if they experience it.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I was just showing some of these. Or I was looking at some of these over here. Like, look at how stoked that kid is.
Yep.
That could be the best day of that kid's life.
Oh, and it usually is, man.
Yeah. That he gets to, because he's got a rubberized field, run the bases.
Run the bases and know that even if he fell, even if the worst that could happen, he's not going to get injured.
But he got to get his uniform on.
You see that?
Yeah, man. He's got his bandana. He's stoked. Which otherwise he would be, you know, next to the stands watching his brother or sister do it. And that's the day that he gets to do it. That's it, man. I think the pictures make it real.
That's why I brought my binder, but I know I can't show everybody, but that's why I brought my binder. There's so many pictures that do make it real, man. And I mean that's why we're doing it.
And too, it's your community, you know. It's not that you're even going to help out in volunteering in Palm Beach or some other place. Like
that's where I'm from, man. I grew up in Stewart. My dad, our first home was right across from Kiwanis Park, that historical building.
You guys lived there?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. That was where my brother and my dad lived there, and then.
So for people who don't know, that Sherrard Law Office, that's your family's office and home. I didn't know it was your home.
Yeah, it was, and then he moved probably late '80s, but it was our home. He's been there.
Respect to you guys for keeping a pretty historic building still. You know,
the Hull House,
not just selling it so it could be condos next to Kiwanis. You know, there, and even when I was campaigning and I stopped in there, you know, your dad has a heart for the historic preservation of this area. He had a book on the books on his table while I'm waiting to talk to you guys are the historic, you know, history of Martin County, history of Stewart books.
He came here in the late '60s, and then I believe in the '70s he purchased that building, early '70s, and then he kind of gutted it because it was kind of decrepit, and he made it,
nice.
Kind of beautified it.
It's beautiful.
But it honestly, it's such a great little office.
Yeah,
it's such an awesome. It's called the Hull House. So it was.
You can hear it even when whoever that was going up the stairs. You could hear like this. Like, this is so cool. Where am I? I've not even been in a building like this. You know, in the city. This is so cool. How old is that building?
Since the 1800s. It's one of the first houses in Stewart.
I don't know if it's too off topic, but what's the history of that house?
It was called the Hull House, and I believe, man, I couldn't tell you that. If my dad was here, he could tell you all about it. But it's called the Hull House. I know it was one of the first homes built here in Stewart.
Wow.
And then it was built, I think, in the 1890s, and then
wow, that's
was
the original. I mean, people were coming here.
Yeah,
that's when German immigrants were coming here. That's a big house.
Well, it's always fun to see whenever there's pictures of the old Stewart and everything. You can always see the office is just right there. Awesome. Yeah.
And so that was a family's home.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool. Man, I want to go back in there and look at it again.
There's a little plaque right outside our building that explains the whole history.
Right on.
Yeah.
I need to read that again. Well, you're at an hour and a half talking to me.
Oh man,
it's fast, right?
It went by like that.
I know. It's quick. What?
You got to edit some of that out, then.
No, it's.
I was just yammering, huh?
it's the beauty of doing this kind of a podcast or episode is it's just not edited. It's normal people just talking. You know, we get either 5-second clips. You know, we're all so hammered. You never get to really just breathe and have normal conversations that are also very informative and valuable, you know, but
well, I also like,
especially with local issues, if you're local, that's my goal of doing this
that's what I was just about to say. I also appreciate being able to have an outlet to the community.
Yes.
Because I went to the commissioners meeting There's only a few people there.
There could be 2-3 people that
It was
watch
kinda
that
nuts.
video.
I thought there was going to be like 50, 100 people in there.
There was at the last meeting, but again, they're usually there either before or against a topic. They're not necessarily there to learn about,
And see, that's something I don't know. So I appreciate you giving me this outlet because honestly, it's vital.
Anything that's valuable that's going on here, I want to have a resource where, those videos might land in your feed, or you can go back and you can click when you have time and listen to it, is my goal.
Well, my goal is to make sure I come back on here in like 2 months.
Yes.
Okay.
You tell me the date and it's your...
I'd like to do it after we open registration, because what I'd like to do is have registration closed, and then me to be able to tell everybody we have our 30 people, we have the uniforms coming, we have the buddy list out. Here's the buddy list. This is where you can access the buddy list. We need volunteers. So that's what I'd like to do.
Okay. Asking ye shall receive.
All right. Let's try to do it sometime in March then.
Cool. It'll be, we'll do logistics later, but yes.
Perfect, man.
So parting thoughts, again, you want everybody that is willing and able to be there to help, to be a buddy. How can those buddies sign up?
Volunteer. There's a volunteer section on our webpage. Again,
I'll do it one last time here.
miracleleagueofmc.org.
Volunteer.
You just put volunteer, and then there's a contact information right there. Just sign up. Remember what I said. We're going to start April 4th. It's going to be every Thursday for 8 weeks after that.
Yep.
So you can, Chris,
so you're volunteering for an 8-week thing.
Or just even if you wanted to do a few weeks, if you're saying, "Hey, Trevor,
you're not married to 8 weeks."
Yeah, if I can only do it 1 week, or I can do it this week, that's great.
Anything is a blessing.
Yeah, as long as you're out there, and I just want to say one last thing is not only volunteers, and I know there are older individuals that want to help and support, and they're not able to run bases. That's fine. Come out.
We'll find a way.
Come out and sit in the seats.
Yes.
Because you're just as important as those people that are running around the bases, the people that are in the stadium and the seats cheering on the children. They serve just as vital as a role. Mm-hmm. So please, if you can, even if you're not able to run the bases, please come out. We would love to have you. Sailfish Park, April 4th, 6 p.m. We're going to start. And honestly, it's going to be every Thursday after at 6 p.m. We're going to have the fire department, sheriff's department, police department, have all these schools. It's going to be a fun event. And I'm hoping that we can also get a person that is a cook, somebody that can maybe grill some burgers. We have one person that we think will be able to do it, but we would like to have somebody, grilling burgers, make it fun for everybody.
I bet if you reached out to, some food trucks or...
That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah. Especially if you can demonstrate that there's going to be human beings here.
And there will be. So if you have a food truck, please get in contact with me. I'd love to have you there on Thursdays.
And then if this is touching your heart, right, and you want to help support financially buying some trophies or jerseys for some kids.
And even if it's not trophies or jerseys, we need liability insurance. I need money for the fields. I need money for the dues. We need money for first aid, for banners, for tables.
Are you guys going to offer advertising for businesses?
Yes.
You're going to have logos up there so people can be associated with God's work.
That's a good
up
point.
On the fence. And
correct. So
that's really good PR over there.
And that's what we're going to do. That's why I say banners, because what we're going to do, what we envision is this, is we would like to have, the jersey. Of course, Philip and I are going to be on it. As well, but you could, if you're a sponsor, we could put you on the sleeve. We could put you on the front. We can also we will have a banner, and so when people are checking in, when the kids are checking in, there will be 2 tables for each side, right by the dugouts. And then right in front of the banner, it's going to have their Miami Marlins or the Colorado Rockies. But then you can have your logo, whatever business you have, we can have your logo there as well.
Because I would imagine people want to be associated with what you're doing.
And that's exactly what we want. And so your logo will be on. It can be on the uniform. It could be on the banner, and we're also going to feature it on our website as well.
And this is the inaugural. Mm-hmm. And so I would say, as a business, you're not going to regret being at the
Oh, man.
beginning of a thing like this.
No.
Yes.
And I'll tell you right now, once people learn about this, I think that it's such good PR for your business as well.
Right.
You know how many people are going to be like, wow, and associate your business with something that is this pure and good. I mean, it's all the PR that you could want as a business. So I would really encourage to try.
My hope too is that the city will, we will periodically help sponsor things as well, right? Like business development board, the city of Stewart is a sponsor in their event. So that would be something that I'll talk and do a little, politicking internally.
Let me know, man, what I can do to help out in that.
It would probably be just reaching out to that parks department and, start to put that out there, and then also city management as well. And then I'll do my part and ask, if that's something, but ultimately the commission would have to approve it,
Mm-hmm.
but if that's something that could come in front of the commission for approval, to be able to help you guys out to some extent and have our Sailfish logo and City of Stewart up there as well.
That'd be awesome.
We should want to be associated.
West Palm Beach does that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We should want to, even if somehow it's waiving the fee for the field or whatever. Yeah. So
Anything helps.
awesome, man. Well, good to see you.
Chris, thank you so much for having me, man. I really
Absolutely.
appreciate it, brother.
We'll do it again in March.
Yeah. Let me know when you
Nail
have
a
time.
date down. All right, man. God bless.
And God bless you, man. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Oh.